Good morning. Here's the clock. I've taken the cover off, you see, which is one of the things you have to do. And I don't know whether you can see, but there are two little clips here, one each side. Look, you have to move them out to let that off. Now, what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you underneath the clock, like this. There are the clips. Ordinarily you wouldn't turn this over. There's two of them, one each side. But what I've done is I've locked this pendulum down. I lock it down with this key here. And to do that, you have to lift it up. Get it into a slot. This is the clip here. I'm going to put this on pause and move it over. I've got to move it over there while I hold the pendulum up. So it's a two-handed job, and then I've got to let it down very gently, and I may be able to show you later why that is, but it's suspended on a very fine wire and it will break very easily. Let me just do it. Right, I've done it. I've let it down. You see that clip is moved over to the left as we're looking at it. And I've given the balls a start. They don't really need to swing this much. They go around about a turn, I think. They generally will start themselves on this clock because they do not give the time. They're not the timepiece on this. That's done with a balance wheel, electric balance wheel in there. That is driven by a little electronic circuit from this battery. See the battery? I put a label on it. It says I replaced it in February this year. 3rd of February is it or something? 23rd of February. Now what I'm going to do is stop this video. I'm going to take the cover off and we'll have a look inside what's behind this cover. But generally speaking, I shouldn't think you would ever do that. You see now, I've taken the cover off and you can see the balance in there and the little electronic circuit. That is what actually gives you the time. Now the reason the manufacturers did this was because these ball time clocks were notoriously poor at keeping good time. They could keep them going for a year but keep in bad time, or you might be able to make them go for a week with very fine adjustment, but they would keep stopping. So really they were just not satisfactory, and they made thousands of them and they sold them, especially in Germany after the war, to the troops that were stationed there. They took them home. They said they would run for a year. Well, really, they don't. They don't work very well. The adjustment that you can make to this, I can't see. I think it's that. I think it's that there. But, yeah, it is. It goes round that way, that cover, and it's that. It goes through that hole there. To do it, you would need a very fine screwdriver, finer than I've got here. But you turn that. But you can do it with this on, so you don't need to take the cover off. So now I'm going to put this cover back because I've showed you this. I can see the folly of trying to make a movie here. It's seemed like a good idea, but you can see at least at the moment the balance, can't you, going, and the balls are rotating because they get a little push from this lever here. It looks a bit like a little aeroplane and it floats, and then it gets a push, whee, and that just keeps them going. And they are totally for show. They're nothing to do with the time at all. Can you see the fine wire? I'll try and touch it just a little bit with my screwdriver. There it is, look, the fine wire. That's what it's suspended on, and that is the lock, which is in its lock position at the moment. You just have to slide it that direction while you hold the weight of the balls, and you need 2 hands to do it, and I haven't got it. I'd have to go, I can't do it. There we are. I've slid it over and I've got them, and they're starting to swing already. But now it's difficult to see the wire. There's the wire that they're on. And in a while they'll pick up a bit more rotational speed. It's all automatic. You just need to leave it. Okay. Okay, this is video number 3, I think. When you set the time on here, you can do it with these hands. You just push them round. It's usually better with clocks to go around clockwise, although I do believe with this one you can go backwards. I wouldn't suggest that you do. Not more than a few minutes anyway. I mean, that is actually the time now. But by the time you get this clock, it's going to be an hour slower than this. And I might send it out set slow. I mean, there's every chance it would work all through the post because it's just ticking away in there. The battery, you just hook it up with your fingernail and replace it from time to time. This is the second battery in a clock that I've had 3 years. So I think you can expect the battery to last at least a year, if not 18 months, maybe even longer. But it will benefit timekeeping wise if the battery's replaced, say, every year. That would probably be the best thing to do. And then it will keep quite good time. And so this is the clock before the quartz came in that they were selling, so that it kept reasonably good time as well as being decorative and with the balls, which I'll go to video for and restart, I think. Or maybe I'll put this on pause. There are, I've set that going so that you can have a view of it going. They're a bit wobbly at the moment, and then you would just put the cover, which I've got here in my little handy, very carefully. You've got to be very careful. There's not much room not to collide with the hands, not to collide with the balls. Gently lower it down and locate it through the holes, which is quite difficult. There we are. It's gone down. Now I push that clip in there, and I push that clip in there. And strictly speaking, we shouldn't really move this anymore. We should have put it in a place where it's going to stay. If we do need to move it, very, very gently indeed, lift it up and move it very slowly, very gently, and put it down. But if you've got any distance to go, it's best to take the cover off, lift the balls, lock them down, and then you can move it in safety. The whole ball locking thing is a tricky little lever. When I send it to you, I shall tape it up or tie it. So that will be one of the first things you've got to do will be to release that lever, put it into place, release that lever, and I hope all will be well. If you go back to the video with the cover off the back, you should be able to see that wire going down the back. I didn't even mention it, did I? One of the things that I wanted to show you, I forgot, is the leveling feet. You see them here. You can twist these on a thread. Steady. Can't turn that one. There we are. They all turn. And the idea is when the clock's in its position, wherever that may be, and the balls are let down, which I'm now going to do because they're not locked, they're trapped at the moment. It's the lock is there. Right, now they're let down, You can see that behind, underneath them is a cup, little cup. Can you see that? And you adjust these feet until the balls are centered over that cup. It's pretty difficult to describe really, but they've got to be centered over that cup so that the thing's level, and of course it doesn't wobble like it does at the moment because it's on this table, but it's just a temporary thing. Of that, they should be over that cup, centered, which they're pretty good, not too bad.